And I rolled up right as the building was collapsing, and all the cops were out with their guns, and water was just going everywhere.
So, tell us about where Thou Mayest came from. What's the start? What's the story?
So, first of all, our name comes from a John Steinbeck book called East of Eden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're literary nerds. We like to read.
Beautiful.
We were sitting in a garage talking about what it meant, and just talking about books and literature, and we were usually roasting coffee while we did it. And the question that we had was, I wonder if we can get paid to do this. Be careful. Be careful when you say that, because it's
dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous because now, fast forward 5 years, having 7 different types of coffee with more on the way. At one point it was just like 2. So just kind of seeing how we've grown. It's been slow and steady. We're really passionate about. Yes, there's a coffee part of it that we're really passionate about, but just seeing the way the community interacts. We're a community center. People can come, grab this $2 cup of coffee, grab a fishbowl of cereal, and talk about life. And really, that's what if you're not doing that, or coffee should be this introspective thing. If you're by yourself, or if you're with a group of people, being able to, drink some coffee while you talk about
anything.
Life, yeah, and so that's really the point, is the community spot that it kind of shares. So we call this the idea brothel in here. These ideas just come together, and there's these
cool.
these babies that are born all the time, and
Babies.
People have ideas, and you say, hey, I need help on an idea, and somebody over here has the answer to that. So being able to connect
all
people,
the components can come
yeah,
together.
it's like a physical Rolodex in here. It's like, what do you need, and we can help you get there. And so
cool.
so that's been the funnest part about all this. Yes, we love coffees. Yes, we're passionate about coffees, but man, we really like seeing people. What I said earlier was even the dates. The best email that I've ever got. It was one of those. I was like crying after I read it. But it was one of those that somebody said, "Hey, if it wasn't for this spot, I would have never met the love of my life." And now we have we have a baby on the way, and it was like, that's why I do this, And it's like,
I just got little goosebumps. That's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what's been really fun, is just seeing whether it's business ideas, whether these are community ideas, or whether it's just people getting together to have a good time. I mean, what if you were to ask my 5-year self what we planned to, where do you see yourself in 5 years? It wasn't necessarily, I would not have been here. So you asked me, where are you guys going 5 years from now? I don't know, the moon? Might as well be. I don't care.
Based on the moon. 5 years coming.
Yeah, cosmic, galactic.
So
Thou Mayest galactic.
If you were giving advice to startup companies, what would you give them?
I would say, first of all, get out of the house. Even when I say get out of the house, get out of your own mental spot. Get out and start colliding with other people in these areas. Sometimes that's just the easiest thing to do. Just get out there, and you never know who you're going to run into next. And then sometimes that can be kind of anxiety-ridden. Listen, I don't have this thing's not fully baked yet. I don't have this idea fully formed, and I don't really know. Nobody ever knows, So when people are doing business, it's like a lot of times, people think they need to figure it out, and there's just an element of being the actionable part. Yeah. You got to go act, and you can have the best ideas in the world, you can have the best copies in the world, but if your service and if your atmosphere isn't correct, or if your music just is lame, and it's all of a sudden it's not as good, so it's this holistic thing, and so sometimes you just got to jump in and start figuring that out. You're not going to have all the answers, but start somewhere. The worst enemy is they call it analysis paralysis. You're just sitting there over analyzing, and you're just paralyzed, so you don't do anything. You just got to do it. So really, that's what our name implies too. It's from the Steinbeck book called East of Eden. It means the way is open, and it is kind of this beckon, or kind of this call to action.
Oh, I love
So it's in the book. They debate, what the Thou Mayest word means, and it means the way is open. It just means that being able to go out there and take responsibility or take ownership of something. It's it's not the most popular message, and we're trying not to. We're not jamming that down people's throats by any means.
Yeah.
But we are saying we are the ones. Us. We make city's great. You know,
Yeah.
we're the ones that like make cool spaces and create new energy within those spots. We're not sitting here holding out our hands to the local, the state, or the federal governments. We're saying like, how can we go out there and make this thing a reality? So there is kind of like this deeper, we call it the movement, you know, kind of under what we're trying to do. We're trying to make this more than just that coffee experience. We're trying to enable, empower, and create safe spots where people can come to exchange those ideas to see action happen.
All right, Bo, last question.
Yeah.
What's the funniest experience you've had as a
Yeah,
business owner?
probably the craziest one was we came in one day and there was a high-speed chase down Oak Street out there, and this lady lost control, ran into the side of the building. The building collapsed on top of her car. And I rolled up right as the building was collapsing, and all the cops were out with their guns, and water was just going everywhere because she hit a fire hydrant.
Of course she did.
And there was a 10-foot river in front of our building, and then it went around the side of our building, so we were kind of like trapped in. And so me and my business partner go down, we grabbed these big old 2x6s, made a bridge to help people get in. It was one of the weirdest days of my
You
life.
were literal bridge builders.
Yeah, building bridges. Hey, you know what? You tell people like you can't come get your caffeine, and you know
That makes for a bad day.
that's not a good way to start the day. So
Yeah.
that has probably been the wildest one so far. Some of the funnest ones have been because we have this concert venue in the back. We've got to hang out with like Modest Yahoo. He loves Ethiopian coffee.
That's hilarious.
We got to go take coffee to Wilco and got to go hang out with them after the concert. I mean, just
Nice.
being able to experience some of these people who come into town and just seeing like what is Kansas City all about.
Yeah.
And really just kind of showing them like, hey, we've got this fun and engaging space with great product and like friendly baristas, you know. So it's been a lot of fun.
This has been
All
far
been
the
great?
best
Okay,
coffee.
all
Like,
right.
from the music already, like I've loved every song.
Perfect.
When you talked about that,
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder if there is good music.
Here it is.
Here it is. The whole time I've been like,
Just kind of moving.
Yeah.
That's when you know when you see
When
people
everybody-
moving.
I've never had a coffee experience like this. It's always been like, oh yeah, I am depressed. Like, and then coming in here, I'm like, dude,
Whoa,
I got
what's
this.
happening? So yeah, come down to this area of town. I mean, there's the East Crossroads, and
Love it.
yeah, just spend the entire Friday afternoon hanging out with
Spend
us.
the weekend.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Thanks, Bo. We really appreciate it.
Thanks,
You've been
guys.
good to
Yeah.
us.
High five.
Friday
Friday
at
at the
the
Fountain.
Fountain.
Thanks for watching.
Woo!